Hello, this is Thomas. I recently got the question, can I compare database values like from one database with another database, also with UFT? There are checkpoints, but can I also compare databases? Therefore, I've created an example. You see two databases here. I'm first showing you how this looks like and then how I did create this. And then these two database tables, they are different. So I've just copied actually the database and then did a modification. You see here the difference in Anton Müller and Anton Meyer, a different name. And what I want to do is read those databases and compare those databases. You see I've created a loop which goes through through all values in the database, through all records in the database, and then is comparing the name, and we get a uh, if yes, no, passed, failed, depending on if the names are equal or not. So as I said, I'm just showing you the results. So I'm running the test and then later on, let's see how this is created. First, how you get test result. You see I've got several fails here, but also some passes. So the first failed is here the Anton Meyer is not equal to Anton Müller. This is different, and this is why this check is actually failing. I've actually built it so that it is directly comparing these names, and when there's any difference, it's logging a failed, otherwise a passed. You see lots of passes here, so it's logging also the passes, but there are additional failures at the end as well, and you see here the differences. So it finds all differences in data tables, and yeah, as a next step, I'm going to show you how to create this. Therefore, I'm creating a new test, an API test. And in this API test, I'm going to connect to those two databases and yeah, then do the compare. So let's see how this can be built up. First, I'm creating a new empty API test and I'm connecting to the databases. Here's my DSN1, test the connection, fine. And then I got to create a select statement. I can use this query designer if I'm not that familiar with SQL, but you can also type the SQL statement if you want. You see if I select and deselect some fields here, it's changing the select statement. And also if I change the sort order, it's adding this order by statement to the SQL. So let's give this data source a name like customers1. This is my customers table 1, and let's connect to the other database which has some modified data in it. And test connection, yeah, connected, looks good. And next, so I'm also creating here the exact same SQL on this, so also sort by ID and pick all fields. So that's yeah, and name it like customer 2. And so I've got two tables here, and now I can create my test. You see I've got an empty test and I'm starting with a loop. So I want to loop through all the records in my database for each loop, like yeah, go through every record that is in there and then compare those things. So if these are equal, I want to have a passed, and if those are different, I want to have a failed. So the if and is actually a condition in here in the flow control. So I'm creating a new condition specifying here the criteria. So first I'm going to compare the name from customers 1 table and with the name from customers 2 table. And if they are equal, I want to have a pass logged. So I'm using here a report message. Um, and let's name this message passed, so that you can directly see it in the test. It makes the test more readable, and I want to include the name in the message. If it is failed, I also would like to report something. I would report a failed, and so let's name it failed. It's the name of the test step, by the way, so just a name for it. And the message should be, yeah, let's do something more sophisticated. I want to have the name from customers 1 database and also the name from customers 2 so that you can see how they are different. So this is C1, name it C1. It's just for output here. So you see it's from customers 1 table and customers 2 table. So it's printing both names from both databases. And let's see how this works. I'm running the test and run. It's starting and ended. So it's just SQL. It's very fast. And let's have a look at the results. And I can see it says failed sometimes, but actually we got passed, and no errors. So there's still something wrong in the test. Did you spot it? There is something missing. Status is just done. So status should be failed. I just named the step failed, but the status, of course, should be failed here as well. And same for the passed. I shouldn't just name it passed, but also really define the status as passed. So if you run the test now, you will also get those red and green result indication and report and details. And I want to show you also how this message then look like. So if you compare the values from one database to the other, we got some fails here as expected, and also some pairs. And you see customer table 1 is Anton Meyer and customer table 2 Anton Müller. That's the difference.